right now. We're gonna do this right now. Do this right now, bro. Okay, looks like we're good. So let's work happy here. Okay. Looks like we're on. Yo, yo. Check. It looks like I'm on. Alright, okay, so already started. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Jay from JS Films. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Unreal Engine 5.5 real-time path tracing. Now, I know I'm a little bit early, but I'm going to go ahead and get this kind of over with because I'm pretty excited about this. That said, we're going to be taking a look at Scans Factories Paris. Whenever I saw this at Unreal Fest, I was like, I got to go play with it. So that said, I sent it over to Richard, and he pretty much converted it to an NVRTX. And this project right now, which you're looking at right now, is a package file which has all the goodness in it. The DLSS4, ray reconstruction, resteer PT. So that's what we're going to be looking at right now. We did do a live stream on this, but the live stream, since it's like live, I think it's not going to be as clear. So hopefully what I'm going to do here is kind of show you, hopefully in a better resolution, and it's live. 4K 60p, and fingers crossed, hopefully this will work. All right, but yeah, let me know before we get started. Is it 4K? Is it 60p before I start this thing? Because this is heavy. All right, this is really heavy. I'm doing everything just with one computer. We're running this 4K high settings right now. I'm live streaming is on TikTok and YouTube. 5.6, no, not yet. NVRTX is only 5.5. So that's what this is right now. So what's the big deal, right? Real-time path tracing is slowly making it to mainstream games. I think the most recent one is Doom that they added. Real-time path tracing is something that I have been watching, obviously, for a minute here on the channel. Not a lot of people cover it because they're scared. I'm just joking. I don't know, but it's still fairly new. Like always here on the channel, you see a lot of stuff that are new that usually comes in like a year or two or so. This is one of them. So Unreal Engine 5, NVRTX 5.5, Paris demo. Not like the actual demo. It's obviously NVRTX. Now what you're looking at right now is hardware ray tracing Lumen. This video will mainly compare real-time path tracing to hardware ray tracing Lumen. So the highest quality Lumen you can get out of Unreal Engine 5, right? That's like what I render with. It's using TSR, which is the default anti-aliasing now, which honestly I think looks amazing. Not a lot of people talk about TSR, but I think it's fantastic even for my my cinematics nowadays. Sometimes I render TSR just to see if people can even tell. So TSR is amazing. Currently, Richard set up some pretty cool key binds for us here. If I press 1, that's going to change resteer PT or real-time path tracing. 2 is going to change to DLSS4 and TSR. And then 3 is going to change our quality here, right? So 58% screen percentage, 67, and 100, which is DLAA. I don't suggest going 100%. I don't even know if this is still going to be running right now whenever I switch it to 100%. So let me know in the chat, because I started recording this in OBS and my computer couldn't keep up at 100%. So right now we'll set it at 67%, which is quality mode. All right. And again, native is 4K. So here we are with hardware ray tracing only Lumen. All right. The scene looks great. And it doesn't look too bad. Okay. Because this is hardware. Right? We got some nice reflections. But what I'm going to do now is swap it over to real-time path tracing. Now, keynote, real-time path tracing. And I'll explain why I'm foot-stomping that. So what I'll do first is I will hit the resteer PT. And I will go to DLSS4, which has ray reconstruction, frame generation. I have the RTX 5090. So that means I have 4 times, right? 3 generated, 1 original, 4x. This is, again, 4K at high settings. A couple of things you're going to notice here, and I'm hoping you can see this on this live stream here in 4K, 60 frames per second. One thing you're going to notice, if you look straight ahead, there is a wooden door, but look up, and there is a balcony. I want you to look at that window on that balcony there, and I want you to look at that reflection. I'm going to swap it over again to a hardware ray tracing Lumen, and that reflection is gone. And I have been testing out hardware Lumen reflections since 5.0, and we've done 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. We haven't done 5.5 yet because I'm still waiting. Hardware ray trace Lumen is pretty darn good, but watch what real-time path tracing looks like compared to it. We see a lot more of the building behind the character, the camera. The reflections are much better, and the exposure actually gets brighter. That's because it's real-time path traced, meaning that we're actually taking in a lot more bounces, right? So one more time, this is before, right? And this is after. Much cleaner image, and we're running this at 250 frames per second. Freaking insane. Now, before, when I was trying out DLSS earlier version, and I've done it here on the channel plenty of times, I usually try to see if I can break it, right? So if I move before, we would get kind of like some kind of warping of some sorts, but DLSS 4 is probably the best version of DLSS we've ever had before. And again, this is with ray reconstruction. So again, if you look at the water down here, I can see the reflection just fine. I'll turn that off. I mean, it's there, but it's not as clear as this. All right? Really nice, crisp in movements. So it's not just a still. Before, people were like, oh yeah, it looks great when it's not moving. Well, I can safely say, I tell you right now, you're not really going to be able to tell that there's really DLSS 4 aside for the frame gen, boost, and the sharpness and reflections and the extra bounces. So let's move over here real quick. I don't want to crash this right now. Again, I'm recording everything with one computer. So I'm going to show you the movements of real-time path tracing right now. Get about solid 250 frames per second. And we're going to get some interior shots because I love like path trace, offline path trace, some interiors because just the way light bounces all over, it just looks so much better. So let's go in here. We'll go here. And I'm going to go on the opposite side because I like that shot better. So this is, again, real-time path tracing right now. And I'm going to turn around right here. But before I get started with the next thing here, I want to make sure that people can actually see this. Right? No, that's actually my my daughter's playing piano right now. Is this still running? Okay, it looks like it's still running, so that's good. Can you hear the game audio at all? Because I have headphones, I can't hear it. All right. So let's turn this off now with just hardware Lumen ray trace TSR. Okay, so this is kind of like your vanilla. Okay, this is your vanilla in Lumen hardware ray trace in Unreal Engine 5, which again doesn't look bad at all, right? But I'm gonna be brave here, and I'm gonna set this to 100%. Okay, our frames per second drop like 56, 57. The image looks crispy. This is the best without turning up screen percentage to like 200%. This is the best image you're gonna get out of Lumen hardware ray trace. TSR hardware ray trace Lumen. But as you can see at 4K high settings, 55 frames per second, that's just not gonna work for a lot of people. All right. So let's swap it over now to Resteer PT or real-time path tracing. Let's switch that over by pressing 1, and we'll go to DLSS 4 at, again, 100%. This is DLAA 100%, and I'm getting about 160 frames per second right now. And same things you're going to notice. We're going to get a brighter image because it's gathering more light. The reflections are much better, and it's much sharper. because of ray reconstruction. Because to me, ray reconstruction just doesn't denoise image anymore. It's sharpening it as well. And you can clearly see that. So we'll go with before again. This is hardware ray tracing Lumen. Okay, this is hardware at 100% screen percentage, 56 frames per second. We'll swap to Resteer PT, real-time path tracing, ray reconstruction, frame gen at 160 frames per second. And another thing that I noticed, and I talk about it a lot in the live stream that I did with Richard. I'll put the link in the comments below whenever it's actually out, because you got to check it out. He goes over a lot of CVARs on this exact same demo I'm doing here. The thing that I'm noticing here, aside for this chair kind of flipping out, it's getting really good with patterns too. Like these little tiles on the floor. This is doing frame generation. Okay, so this is what people are calling fake frames, right? It's generating 3 frames extra out of the original 1. So this is what DLS is for, and those patterns, I just gotta refresh that one on the chair, is actually doing a really good job. Like ray reconstruction, it's so much stable. This is the most stable DLSS4 I have ever tested in Unreal Engine 5, and I've tested pretty much all of them whenever they come out in NVRTX. So let's swap it over to Lumen once again. And even in Lumen, this little area right here is getting some kind of weirdness going on in here. But overall patterns, it's not really doing what I call like a Moira effect. It doesn't screw it up anymore. Like the training, the model's gotten so smart that even with 4 times frame gen, and I'm gonna move around in here because you really don't see any more difference on what is fake and what is real frame, because they're all fake frames in my opinion. So again, we're getting about 160 frames per second here, right? And this is 4K high settings, and it looks like this. This is real-time path tracing. Absolutely bananas. Okay, hopefully we're still good. Oh, I'm crashing. Okay. Let's go to 67. So dude, my computer is like tripping out because it just can't keep up. So let's calm down. I'm gonna tone it down just a bit, and let's see if we can get the frames back. Okay, that's crazy, dude. Thanks for telling me though, because I'd like tend to go ham on these. But let's see if I can get the video feedback, because it looks like I'm frozen. I'm looking at it right now. So give me 1 second. Crazy, dude. All right, let's see. All right, I'm at 67 right now. Hopefully I get back. Let me check my OBS to see if it's dead. Okay, it looks like I'm back, but it's just gonna take a minute for it to refresh. I think I need to buy that $8,000 graphics card. Give me 1 second, dude. I mean, honestly, if I ever get the budget, I would go. I would go. So let me pause it real quick and see if I can get back. Yeah, I think I crashed. Dude, it's actually not... YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain... Okay, so it's buffering right now. It looks like I'm on. Am I still on? Or am I dead? Oh my god. I think I just crashed it. So give me a second. I'm trying to see if I can wait for it to get back. Hello? Hello? Am I on? Am I back on? Sorry guys. I kind of pushed it here a little bit higher. Let me turn the fan up. I don't think it's like a hardware issue. I think it's more like a... I'm just really hot right now. I think it's more like an OBS not being able to keep up, to be honest with you. Because it was... My game is fine. Like, it's running completely fine on my end. But I feel like it's OBS right now. Hello, 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 friends. Hello, friends. Are we back? Hello, friends. Are we back, friends, or no friends? No friends or back friends? Hello, am I on? Yeah, no. So, I tried doing this offline, but OBS is not able to keep up. Because my computer is running fine. Like, that's why I was, like, still talking and thinking, like, everything's okay until somebody said that it was offline. But, yeah. It's just, like, OBS, man. And you know what's funny? I have a capture card. But it doesn't run 4K high quality. It's like the 4K 60 Mark II. So right now, OBS is all I can use. But, yeah. Let's see. Refresh page, and it's good. All right. Let's do that real quick, and then we'll continue on. It's an OBS issue because my computer is running. It hasn't crashed yet. So that said, where did I stop? We were in this, right? We were in the little cafe here. So I'm gonna stay at 67 because whenever I go to DLAA, the OBS just says not today. All right. So right now my audio is out of sync, like it's not in sync. Clap. I mean, obviously it's gonna be delayed because it's a live stream. Is now buffering. Wow, dude, it's like totally fine. Give me a second. Let me check the YouTube. Yeah, YouTube says excellent condition. You might have to refresh your page because yeah, I have not seeing anything here. Stream settings, stream health. It says it's healthy. So yeah, you might have to refresh it. But yeah, I really wanted to do this offline and record it because we get more quality, but OBS just couldn't handle the quality of it. Not real time, that is. Okay. All right, yeah. So just refresh your page, and we'll continue on. I mean, this is the reason why not a lot of people are trying this, guys, because this is crazy. Like, not a lot of people are crazy enough to do this right here. Because the OBS can't record it. It just cannot. But anyways, this is the cafe interior once again. And for me, for real-time path tracing, again, I'm looking at a couple of things here. I'm looking at bounces, exposure, shadows, number one. Second, reflections. And third one is translucency. I'm not going to be naive. All right? Real-time path trace translucency, we're not there. Okay? But shadows and reflections, we're really getting there, okay, as far as like compared to offline path tracer. So again, we're in the cafe. This is hardware ray tracing Lumen, the best Lumen TSR you're going to get. All right, 4K high settings. It's not gonna look bad. This looks amazing, right? Games can look like this now if you're crazy enough, but performance is probably gonna be crap. This is the same quality I use whenever I render my cinematics. Hardware ray tracing, right? And right now it's a 67, so obviously just pretend it's 100 when I'm rendering, because obviously 67 is the safe space right now. This looks great. TSR is doing a great job. We are getting a little bit of Moira, whatever you want to fucking call that, into patterns. Patterns are tough. Okay, when it comes to anything, even cameras can't render patterns sometimes. But TSR is great, looking good. We got the jar right there. Obviously, it's Lumen reflections, so you're gonna see those little dancing acne noise. We've all seen that. Wherever render, Lumen, you'll see that. So we're used to that now. All right. So now let's swap over to re-steer path tracing. 67%. I hope this holds. I'm going to wait in the chat before I continue on with this demo. Let me know if this freezes the chat, right? So again, this is real-time path traced image at 250 frames per second because we have DLSS 4. Now, with real-time path tracing, you need DLSS 4. They all go hand in hand, all right? Because if you think about it, if we're trying to do real-time path tracing without any denoiser, ain't gonna work. So the ray reconstruction is what's denoising the image and also sharpening the image, right? And also generating those extra 3 frames out of the original. So again, I'll move in here. Looking good. Patterns on the floor. Looks great. This chair right here in the middle just does not like the camera whatsoever because it's just causing issues even with the TSR. And once again, whenever we move, if I were to cover the top portion, right, and you don't see any frame generation DLSS4, any gamer would be like, oh, bro, this is great, right? We're not noticing a lot of edge morphing anymore with these DLSS, okay? It's so smooth. It's so freaking clean. I mean, look at this fucking area right here. You show this to your grandma if they're alive, and they'll be like, oh, my God, that's... well, yeah, d'accord, Français, Paris, you know. This is crazy, people. And I think we're seeing a lot more games kind of put this technology in their games right now as an update. But this is the future of gaming, right? Because this is absolutely incredible, right? And this view right here, I'll swap it over to hardware Lumen again. Just like as we taught, it's going to be a lot darker. You know, you're not getting a lot of bounces in there. In the shadows, in the cracks. You know, the shadows are really crushed, if you're familiar with that, with like photography or cinematography. But as soon as you use real-time path tracing, you get a little bit of bounces back. If you look at I can't really point to it, but you look at under the couches on the right side, we're getting a lot more bounce back because that's how path tracing works, right? It just goes from the camera, goes to the object, and goes to the source, the light, and it just calculates, boom, 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 bounces all the time. This one right here has 3 bounces for the real-time path tracing. That's only 3 bounces. And what's crazy is, if people are interested, I can actually compare this to offline path tracer, all right? And I'll talk about that towards the end because there's a lot of confusion right now because of content creators. Whenever they're making content, they're just putting, this is path tracing. And people are coming to me and say, hey, dude, have you seen this? This doesn't look like path tracing at all. That's because they're showing you the real-time path tracing, kind of like what I'm showing you now. Offline path tracer is completely different. It's like different flavors, in my opinion, okay? So I could compare real-time path tracing to offline path tracing, right? But that's on another topic because we're going to be crashing a lot more whenever we do that. All right, so let's go back to Reaster PT, which is our real-time path tracing. And let's take a look at this jar now, right? You're looking at this jar from before with hardware ray tracing Lumen. Everything maxed out. 5 reflections, final gather, everything maxed out. Even the secret settings, it's maxed out. 5 and 4. If I now swap over to real-time path tracing, those reflections once again. And what's crazy about this is we don't even have mega geometry in NVRTX 5.5. If somehow they get mega geo to work with all of these technologies here, I played with mega geo in the Zora branch, bro, that's gonna look freaking amazing. All right, so here's your reflection once again with just regular hardware Lumen ray tracing. And don't get me wrong, this scene right here is totally fine. You know what I'm saying? So this scene is fine. It looks photorealistic. But if we're talking about the future of graphics, the gaming, this is it right here. All right? So I'm going to try to go to an extreme, and I'm hoping this is coming better. Like, you can see what I'm kind of pointing out. This is a live stream, but it is 4K, and I'm hoping you can see it. It's not just like compression everywhere. Now I'm going to go to an extreme scenario, and again, Richard from NVIDIA kind of helped me with the scene, and it's like you gotta watch that live stream because we pretty much just go back and forth, pretty much doing what I'm doing now, but he's giving you like some tidbits on like, hey, this and this and this is the settings and stuff like that. Because I have this in a project as well, but this is just a packaged demo so that we can get a better FPS, because whenever you run this in editor, it's usually not that good. So what I'm going to show you right now, we're also going to show in a live stream, but again, this is a little bit more high res here. This subway is only lit with emissive materials coming from those static meshes that you see everywhere, and some light leakage. All right, so we're talking about Lumen here. So you're gonna see some light leaking here, and you're gonna see a lot of dancing shadows, right, everywhere you look. So you can see it right here. This is really, really extreme, right? People won't light a scene like this, an interior like this, strictly with emissive lighting. It's just not gonna pick up in a flight. There's just not enough energy for you to actually crank this up and make it like look good, right? So this is extreme, all right? So that means like don't do it. We're not there yet. So here is the most extreme scenario here. We have some light leakage on the left here, and we have what Lumens looks like, okay? So hardware ray trace Lumen TSR, get about 130 frames per second, whatever. But now I'm gonna swap it to real-time path tracing. If you are not a believer of real-time path tracing, DLSS for ray reconstruction, frame gen, before, this is only the 4th generation of this technology. And by gosh, it cleaned this image up so much. Again, there is no levels down here. There's no light down here. You have these little ceiling lights, but they have emissives only. There is no point light. There is no rec light. But somehow, because of the real-time path trace, it's able to stabilize it enough that I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, this is kind of like a cool scene here. Obviously have a little bit more leak right there, right? But down here, you're like, holy smokes. Like, I bet if I crank that up a little bit, you can have a little bit more level down here. And that's actually another pro for the real-time path tracing, is that in the future, we're going to be able to light with just emissive. It's not there yet, but this is kind of like a little preview. All right, so we're talking about lighting with emissive with color changing without the cost of a local light color changing. That's crazy. From that to that, and you get 300 FPS? I don't care. Linus can talk crap about it. That long hair guy, 2 cents, 20 cents, can talk bad about NVIDIA all day. But they just do not see what we see here on the channel. They're just gamers. They don't go in here and see this raw, right? They don't get to play with these technologies. So they're kind of like, they just don't know any better. So they just talk bad and get views. And it's unfortunate because, dude, the engineers at NVIDIA, they're just so good at what they do, man. It's insane. It's insane. That said, this right here is actually geometry. It's not just like a decal. You actually see those little crevices in between these little tiles. And watch what happens whenever I switch this to real-time path trace. And once again, to remind you, there's only an emissive light on top of this. There's no local lights. Watch what happened when I swap it over to real-time path trace. Now that emissive light is now casting shadows, like there's a rec light up there. And every single crack right here are now also casting shadows. So this is before, flat. This is after, shadow. From an emissive light. That's insane. Material, not a light, I'm sorry. Emissive material. Get about 300 FPS down here. The image is much more cleaner, right? And this is what it looks like before. Kind of like really dark, a lot of shadow dancing and flickering, which we've all seen. And what's funny though is whenever I got this, I'm converting this into a Fortnite map too, and you'll be surprised what you can fit in a 400 megabytes Fortnite map nowadays. It looks pretty incredible. I had to get rid of a lot because of that 400 megabyte limitation, but it still looks pretty darn cool. Man, this is pretty crazy. Let me walk around with Resteer PT here, and we're at 67%. I think there is another demonstration here somewhere in the back. But yeah, this is just freaking insane. The demo itself, so the actual demo, Scans Factory lets you download, but not this one, because this one is actually it was made with NVRTX. That is the branch, and that's NVIDIA's branch where they put out all of the good features before it makes it officially out. All right, so that's why in the channel you kind of see me playing around with the new technologies, because I'm always up to speed with those things. Like everything that's new, I download them. That's why on my computer I don't have a lot of room, obviously. But yeah, this is an NVRTX branch. And the project, I think it's like a $60 environment from Scans Factory. Again, hands down, I'm gonna say it. This should have cost more than $60. But don't tell Scans Factory I told them that. Because this is incredible. This environment here is absolutely amazing. And what's crazy is, yes, we can technically run this in VR, in UEVR. I'm not sure how ray reconstruction and all that stuff is going to work. I don't think frame generation works with UEVR mod right now, so that's not going to work. But DLSS regular superscale works with UEVR. But imagine this right here with a UEVR mod with my Meta Quest 2 like I've done here before. Crazy technology, right? Now, right now, things that need to improve, you're going to notice the water still gets a little bit blurry, and I've mentioned this before. Additionally, translucency, again, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to solve that. Real-time path trace translucency, that's just bananas, you know? So, again, Lumen, and now we have that real-time path tracing. All right, I'm gonna load up the chat. I'm just gonna walk around in here. If you have any questions, man, just ask. And once again, if you want to check out the live stream that me and Rich did in this demo, you're not gonna get like full rest like you are now because it's like a live stream, but it's gonna supplement and give more background on what went down in here, which is really cool. And honestly, yeah, just check it out. So here it is with regular Lumen here. I love this, by the way. I've been to Paris a couple of times, 3 or 4. Saint Michael statue. This area is real. This small spot is the real deal that they photo scan. And dude, I can tell you right now, this looks just like what I saw whenever I went there. So here you go with real-time path tracing. I mean, bro, it's incredible. It's absolutely, it's just insane, the quality here. It's beautiful work. Man, my computer is like hating me right now, but hey, it's the RTX 5090. We'll put it to work. It's not a big deal. And it looks like we have another kind of like bar restaurant here. Kind of like the same look, but this one's kind of closed in. But yeah, this looks real. And the thing that I really want this for, because I don't make games, I want this to work eventually with the movie render queue. Right now, I tested it, and unfortunately, I was not able to get it to work. Okay? Because imagine now if I'm getting 260 frames per second and it looks like this. Imagine how fast our renders are going to be with the MRQ. Yeah. It's going to be so fast that we're probably going to gain time back, right? Because instead of just going with hardware Lumen, like you're seeing right now, we can now render in this quality with the reflections and the exposure and all that stuff. Yup. Viva la France. Oh, yeah, man. Sorry, I'm just reading your comments now. You need to use your old PC for streaming? Yeah, but I do have that. But the 4090, bro, the capture card and the 4090 does not fit. So the 4090 is huge, and then the capture card also takes PCI Express. So it's just, yeah, it's not going to work. Trust me, I thought about it. But what they really need to do is fix OBS maybe, because yeah, it would have been better for me to upload this completely, but I tried it for like 2 hours and it just did not work. Pretty crazy. Yeah, man, this is crazy, dude. Like, this is so the argument that me and Rich have, right? Because I'm like, all right, Rich, you know, this is like this is the future of gaming, and we're kind of like, unless AI overlays, if you know what I'm talking about, AI overlays is pretty much like taking a game footage and overlaying AI on top of it. So it's either gonna be like real-time path tracing or AI overlays for the future of video games. But if I had to guess, well, it would be kind of naive for me to say that, oh yeah, it's gonna be real-time path tracing, because AI is moving fast too. So I don't know, but I'm hoping it's real-time path tracing. Like, what I really hope for is offline path tracing, right? Now that I could definitely get behind with. We're playing offline path trace video games. That would be crazy. How do you activate the real-time path tracing in the branch project? It's not. This is not in the main branch, bro. This is only in the NVRTX branch. Look at this thing. It's incredible. I mean, Lumen is getting there. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Lumen, this system is still piggybacking. It's just not replacing Lumen. It's still using Lumen, right, for it to work. So I don't want you to confuse it like it's just hard to title it, because nobody's going to understand if I just say real-time path tracing versus no real-time path tracing. So I have to say Lumen, because it's technically vanilla hardware ray trace. But real-time path tracing is still using Lumen, technically. All right, so I don't want you guys to get confused. But yeah, bro, just the way the shadows fall, it's just so much more natural. It almost looks like ambient occlusion. It just looks so much better, right? If you look at this, I can't really point. Like on the corner of this building here, the shadows, it sells it. It's so subtle, but if you go outside, shadows, man, it's so important for shadows to look correctly if you're trying to go for photorealistic. That's why this right here is looking insane right now. So this is before, and this is after. And frames per second is not even a fucking question anymore. And crazy thing is, during the live stream, Richard actually bought an RTX 5060 Ti. 16 gigabytes. So he ran it. He ran the same exact scene with his 5060 Ti, and I ran it with my 5090. And it's crazy. It's like even the 499 card has DLSS 4, has ray reconstruction. Obviously, the only thing he couldn't do was obviously run it in 4K and DLAA. I can run this DLAA. If I wasn't live streaming, I can run this DLAA at 100% screen percentage. So with a 500 card he had, and he's going to show it in the live stream, he's able to run the same exact demo, do the same exact things I'm doing here, but obviously at a lower res and not be able to do DLAA. It's still impressive that he's able to run it, because the cheaper ones have the same technologies as the RTX 5090. And again, when we were talking about the water, you'll kind of see there's a little bit of blurriness when you're moving through it, like the puddles here. But just give that a little bit more training time, and I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be a problem. And here it is with Lumen. This is really struggling here with the reflections. Now this is hard because this is reflection, right? And since we're using hardware, it's reflecting something off camera, which is this building here. That's why it's kind of like, bro, I need more information, right? The hardware ray tracing Lumen, which is still doing great. But now if we swap it over to like real-time path tracing, the full building is there. Even the GI is there from that building. Like the shadows from that building is there. So it's so crazy just to look at it, man. It's truly impressive. But yeah, I'm just talking about this all day. Let me go ahead and read some comments, and we'll talk about it. I'll leave it right here because this is like my favorite shot. I love this right here. This is like so beautiful. France is gorgeous. A lot of European countries are beautiful. So let's read some comments, guys. Starting from the top. Can I enable this in 5.6? No, you can't. This is NVRTX 5.5. So it's a branch that you actually have to download and compile for you to do it. That's where all the good stuff are. So you're watching on your smartphone. Nice. Your triple fan screaming. Resteer, yeah, 5.5. How can we use this? Okay, you told me to 6 OBS. 1 frames per second. I already fixed that. Lag. Can I use real-time path tracing with 5.6 with my 4090? All of the RTX, you're just not gonna have frame gen. That's the only thing. You're not gonna have frame generation, because that's specifically for the RTX 5 series, as far as I recall. Wait, no. Time out. 4090 has, that's my old card. Sorry. Frame gen, the 4090 does have, it's 2 times. The 5090 has 4 times frame gen, so yes. All right, let's see. Refreshing work. Oh yeah, thanks. No freeze. More on the chair, bro. Really incredible, yeah. Grandma would be, I met your grandpa there. That's so true, right? But yeah, this is crazy, man. Like, oh, in just a couple of years, we've gone here. How can we activate? Oh yeah, I already talked about that. Please make a video how to set up real path tracing in real time. I think I did it. I swear I already did it. It was in a diner. It was in a like a post-apocalyptic diner. But if people are interested in it, and if I get enough requests, I can kind of like keep making videos like this, because honestly, this is the future of Unreal Engine 5. I'm actually curious to know if eventually Epic is going to take it to the real branch, because this is what I see all the time with NVIDIA and Epic Games. This is what I'm saying. Nobody told me to say this. This is me. I feel like NVIDIA gets all the researches and they release it all, and then somehow Epic makes their own version, right? Because RTX Di, we covered that 3-4 years ago, and then a couple of years later you get Megalights, which is technically the same thing. So I don't know if Epic is going to say, all right, we will include real-time path tracing in our official branch, or are they going to be like, no, we got our own, or we'll use some of your code and then maybe make our own version. I have no idea. I just feel like they should. You know, we have Witcher 4, Cyberpunk Orion is getting developed in UE5. Cyberpunk Orion would absolutely benefit from this. And we're looking at what, 3 to 5 years till we finally see that game. Hopefully less. So I think they should put it in their main branch, but that's just me. It's a demo, yeah. How do you activate it real-time path trace in the branch project? I think I already answered that. We need deep mind simulation in games. I mean, honestly, would be cool is if we could put like AI characters in here, like metahumans, photorealistic enough, which nowadays you can do that, and run a simulation. And it's funny enough, somebody commented yesterday, he said like it was a disabled vet, and it's like super cool for him to see this in VR. That's like, yeah, man, that's kind of cool because you obviously can't travel. You know, it's hard to travel. Even with 2 kids, it's hard to travel. So it's like, for them, if they can't go to Paris, you can get a Meta Quest 2, download Prey Dog VR, put it on, and you'll be able to walk around in Paris. You know, so that's just kind of like a thought. It seems you have recently been in London. How did you find our lovely city? So I've been in London a couple of times actually, maybe 3 to 4, but this time I went with the kids, and I never had an issue with London. I love London because first of all, it's like one of the European countries that actually speak really good English, which is always a plus. If you've never been, I'm probably gonna butcher this. Leicester Square, where they do the movie premieres. And by the way, I missed the 30 years later movie premiere. Like, I didn't know it was there. Like, we ate dinner, we left, and they had the 30 years later movie premiere right after we left. Right in front of us, like the restaurant we ate at. So I was like, crap. But anyways, yeah, I love London. London's awesome. Weather was good. Amazing weather. And I went to Sheffield 3D Scan store, visited them, and I saw their 360 camera rig in their studio, which was amazing. It was a good time. Let's see here. I want Ready Player One stuff. Yeah, dude. Honestly, that's eventually. I think eventually we're gonna get there. It's either gonna be this, like a game engine that's gonna take us there, or it's gonna be AI that's gonna take us there. And that's why I'm watching these two technologies side by side, because in a way they kind of parallel each other. For cinematics, oh, absolutely, and I'm making videos on this coming up really soon. You know, Unreal Engine 5 metahumans versus AI, which is currently right now the best one is VO3. Because it's going to go parallel, and it's going to go side by side. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons. It's going to be a really interesting topic. But yeah, stay tuned with that. But I'm pretty sure Ready Player One's coming soon. Theoretically, we have a short film with 8 minutes long, where the film will be faster in Unreal or shoot in live action. Man, so I don't know if you've seen my Cyberpunk short film. I made that in 3.5 hours. I had 4 different talents, 1 mocap suit, 2 mocap helmet, 1 mocap suit, 3.5 hours. The runtime is about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It was shot in a warehouse because I couldn't afford a studio, right? If I were to do that in real life, I would have to shut down. Let's not even start with I have to shut down. I have to find the locations, get a permit. I mean, I think that answers the questions right. That answered the question right there. You know, so for me, it was me and a behind the scenes guy. He was shooting a video for me behind the scenes, and then the 4 talent. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's Cyberpunk JS Films fan film. That should answer your question, because whenever you start doing live action, you have to worry about permits, catering, like if you have a big team or whatever. For me, permits is the biggest thing. You have to ask permission, you have to pay money. Sometimes you have to close down streets, which costs money, so you have to pay the police department. That's why I wanted to do stuff in Unreal, because towards the end of the day, you give me an actor and an actress, and I have a mocap suit like Xsense. I have a used iPhone, and I have my DIY mocap helmet and a lavalier microphone. We're fucking going. Like, we're making something. But right now, I just don't have access to people. I just don't. Where I'm at, I just don't have access to anybody. So I'm having to do everything myself. But I know that's a really long answer to your question, but that's just my 2 cents, man. Or 5 cents. Let's see here. Is there any chance for this to be able to use on a viewport and render? So in the viewport, you can use ray reconstruction, right? But rendering, I can't do it. But I hope it will come to MRQ soon. Now, I can play it back and like screen record it with OBS, but actually rendering it in the engine, I can't do it yet. But can you freaking imagine when you can do? Can you imagine the time when real-time path tracing can be rendered with MRQ? Archivists, people who make houses, any type of architectural renderings, it's gonna save them a boatload of times. I can tell you this right now. They don't have to go offline and wait 3 months to render 5 frames. Like, eventually, we are going to get there. All right. So, does this support dynamic lights or disaster LED? Are you talking about? Yeah. There's actually dynamic lights in this area here. I know Rich put, just because, you know, he knows, dude, he's been doing this so long. He's such a fucking professional. He's so good at what he does that he knows what people are going to ask for. So he's like, you know, I put these lights here just to see how it's going to react. So let's take a look at that real quick. If I can freaking find it, man. Let me press shift here. I know it's in one of the cafes in the back. Sorry, this place is massive. And quick question, if you're seeing this and you didn't know this was frame gen, would you say like it looks like fake frames? If you were just to see somebody playing this game right now without knowing the context and you didn't see DLSS 4 in it. I'm just curious. And you know, don't be shy. You know, talk to me how, you know, for real, like be honest. I just want to know, like, can people really tell I'm using fake frames right now? 3 to be exact. I feel like you really can't, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna be able that. I know we covered it in the live stream, so you might have to watch it. I know it's like here somewhere, but it's like a little cafe and they put like local lights in it, which to me, I didn't notice anything like bad, but yeah, I can't find it. This place is massive, dude. Shout out to Scans Factory again, man. They are honestly, they're like, I would say, photorealistic wise, they're like my #1 favorite environment maker now. If you're talking about versatility, I would have to say Leortis because they have a lot more versatile, like stylized and stuff. Bro, I'm not gonna be able to find that thing. Just check out the link in the comments below for our actual live stream because he does go. He told me where to go for the one with the local lights and stuff like that. All right, let's answer. I don't know. MetaHumans look weird with Path Tracer. I didn't play it with long enough, but they kind of look better with Lumen. Yeah, I mean I agree with you, and like I said in 5.6, I don't know if you've seen my hardware ray tracing versus path tracing with the MetaHumans. The subsurface scattering change on the MetaHuman skins whenever you swap to path tracing. So the 5.6 MetaHumans, from my understanding and from my investigation, it's a lot more catered to Lumen. So if you were to render it for path tracing, you're gonna have to tweak the materials for it to look good. Because it's tweaked for Lumen from what it looks like for my comparison. What RTX card is needed? Well, any 5 series will work, but if you're talking about, there's an actual chart of the graphics cards that are compatible with DLSS 4. You'd be surprised on the cards. I think it's just anything with a ray tracer or any RTX, but don't quote me on it. Look at the graph itself, because I know for frame gen is only 4090 and 5090. Okay, but I'm pretty sure they made a video when Cyberpunk first came out, and it kind of tells you, hey, these are the graphics cards that are compatible with DLSS 4, the new technology. Can your RTX A6000 handle this? Do you have the old one or the new one? Nah, dude. Somebody Google that for me real quick. I just don't want to exit out of this. I'm pretty sure DLSS 4 is compatible with all ray tracing cards. There's a chart on it, and I think some of the feature doesn't even have to be NVIDIA. I think if like some of the features actually works on AMD. Not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be frame gen though. I think that's just for the 4090 and the 5090. All right, A6000. The A6000 is like a 3090, if I remember correctly. The A6000, the old generation A6000 is like a 3090 speed wise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm not sure. I have it, but the CPU that I have it on kind of sucks. We live in a simulation. Yeah, this is great, man. I love seeing these. I'm just such a graphic nerd, dude. I don't even like people fight with me all the time. It's like, who cares? It's graphics. I'm like, dude, it's just one of those things, you know. Some people like feet. I like graphics. It's just the way it is. Is this downloadable demo? Yeah, so the actual demo is downloadable. Not this same exact one, because this was compiled with the NVRTX. But the actual demo, if you want to just play around with this environment, yeah, it's free. Just go to the Scans Factory store page, and they were nice enough to include it. You can download it. It's not going to have all the fancy DLSS 4 stuff, obviously, because, you know, Rich specifically made it for this demonstration. But yeah, you can still play around with it and check out. It's amazing. And I am gonna have this in Fortnite soon, really soon. You'll be there for 60 years later. Don't know what is wrong with this demo, but it looks maybe overcast. It's actually not overcast. This is it's kind of weird because I made a video about this when it first came out, and some Parisians, like people from Paris who live right on the street, they're like, bro, that's on point. It's just weird because lighting is like to me, this looks, when I went, one of the days that I went, it looked just like this. Looking at this St. Michael statue right now, it looked just like this. But obviously, different times, different lighting scenarios, it might look different. But I know a lot of locals from my previous video of this demo, the original demo, they said, dude, that's St. Michael. Like, I live down in that apartment. So, if the locals say it's realistic, I'm like, bro, I'm not going to fight you on that. You see that shit every day. Hey, what's up, Sachinam? Is this demo really full of small details making nanite that relevant, or are the modules to core rather basic? To be honest with you, some of the stuff I was actually shocked. Like, for example, the underground. You know, sometimes people would just kind of make that like a flat wall and just put like normals on it to make it look like it's not flat. But that was actually like geometry. So I'll say though, I'm not gonna get paid for saying this. For $60 fucking, this environment is a steal. Because again, if you think about it for a second, you're making a game like Clair Obscur, right? I'm gonna take this St. Michael statue and take it out. You know, whenever you're paying for an environment, you're not paying for just because the whole environment is good. You can kit bash the out of this, the trees, the metro, these little dragon things. Think about it that way, right? So, yeah, $60 for this was a fucking steal. I hope I get like a little recommendation link so I can get some money because I'm selling the crap out of this. environment. JS, have you noticed the new AI trend of training models with 3D assets? If you want an AI generated ad, they simply train AI. So I saw some of those being done locally, and I think I saw also one that's gonna come out commercially. It was like a car that you import like an FBX, and it's gonna create like an ad for you. That's cool. You know, that's cool in a lot of ways, because I use AI a lot for research just to see, you know, like, hey, how far is this shit going? Like, where is it at right now? AI car commercials, bro, not there. The consistency is like not there. So if you were to import your own FBX, then sure, go for it. That's a lot better than just saying racing car driving down, you know. So the thing with AI is, if you can control a lot of the aspect for the generation, the better. Okay? But if you are just typing or importing an image, it's cool for fun. It's really fun to play around with, but I am not going to take it serious. Hopefully that answers. Yeah, we get permits all the time. Location are extremely expensive, around 2K, 3K for one day, and that's the normal location. That's a great point, because in that short film that I made, bro, the actors that the talents that I worked with, they knew I was just like a nobody. So total for the entire shoot, including the location, was like $600. That was 4 talents for 3 hours, a studio for 3 hours, and we mocapped that entire short film, and I made it in a week. Like, put everything in Unreal in a week. It's the cyberpunk short film fan film that I made, which is probably one of my favorites so far of MetaHumans. This is back 3 years ago, bro. This is like back 3 years ago. I think it was one of the very first like MetaHuman shorts. So $600, bro. You're talking about 2K, 3K for just the permits, and I'm out. Like, I'm out of budget. You know what I mean? So with that much money, I can take my 3 talents, and we can go to Dave & Buster's and go to the arcade and have fun, and then make the movie, and then eat some delicious food. No, I didn't get paid to say that. The only way to pick up fake frames would be to be the one actually playing due to latency. Yeah, so for the latency, I understand that. Yeah, some people, and I say that in the live stream too, some people, you know, like, play competitively. But if you were to play like a single player game or like a horror game, it shouldn't really bother you. I mean, skill is skill. You know, back in the day, I played Counter-Strike with a 300 ms ping because my internet was like dial up. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are always going to make excuses when they die. I still make excuses when I die in a game. I have a 5090. I have no excuse to suck at video games, but I do, right? But people are always going to have excuses. But to be honest, latency-wise, single-player game, adventure game, like Death Stranding, UPS, whatever, FedEx Simulator, it shouldn't matter. It's good. Shout out to Paris for giving work to Scans Factory. Yes. I don't know if they did this legitly, but Paris is pretty strict. But I'm pretty sure they got license for it because they're professionals. I love working with Scans Factory. They actually photo scan their hat. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm collecting MetaHuman's hat right now. So shout out. You can technically enable it in the NVIDIA inspector. I don't even know what that comment is, man. I'm so fucking delayed. My bad. Some people feel like I like rice. Yeah. You copyright that, bro. Copyright. NVRTX, this is 5.5, Ernest. 5.5, bro. I'm currently creating about 50 NPC MetaHumans characters. I'm changing the bool material to virtual textures. Cool, man. Good luck to you. Virtual textures is a pretty sore subject. I just haven't had good experience with it, but let me know how it goes. All right, like virtual textures, I don't know. Ugh, just gives me the heebie-jeebies when I hear it. But yeah, let me know how that goes with MetaHumans. I would love to know. You made a demo with NVIDIA Best. Yeah. So I didn't make this demo. Richard did. Because I said to him, dude, we were both at Unreal Fest, and this showed up on the big screen before The Witcher 4. And I was like, that's fucking mine. Because Scans Factory, they send me like the stuff before stuff comes out. So they kind of give me a heads up. So as soon as I saw that, I sent it to Rich. And then Rich like, we're doing this shit. This is going to be a real-time path tracing demo. I was like, say less, bro. Like, and then like 3 days later, he's like, bro, here it is. I was like, yes. And then we did a live stream. I'll put in the comments below. I'm trying to make it so that meta characters use the same textures, wrinkles, maps, normal. I'm sorry. Yeah, so kind of like what they did with the Matrix demo. Yeah, so you're not like using all different ones. Please give link US. I love NVIDIA branch. I hope they didn't kill the glass materials. That shit's crazy good. Which... Oh, man. All right. I can't say that. No, can't say that yet. All right, my bad. Too flat. Can you use that GPU, stat RHI? Yeah. Give me a second. I mean, honestly, if I get disconnected, this is towards the end of the live stream. So, I'm gonna... I'm not sure if I can access it here. I don't know if you can see this at all, right? So right now we're using Resteer, DLSS 4. So we're averaging, what, 12.8. I'll swap it over. And but I don't think stat GPU is actually... I'm trying to see. I don't think this is actually showing the frame gen. What's this? 8 ms, 10 ms. But yeah, I'll show it there anyway. This is hardware ray tracing Lumen, 67%. I'll swap it to one. Oh, I'm not gonna swap it to 100. Too flat. Can you get? Yep. Dream. And you're right. It's amazing feature rendering in VR. Links to the branch. Yeah, waiting for an AI that can model a metahuman like production ready rig thingy by prompt or photo. So I did a workflow before and I added it to my metahuman course. It's pretty much the same thing. It's like text to 3D head, and then I just imported it in the new metahuman 5.6. I think it did a pretty good job. If you've seen the ad for my new metahuman music video, that's the method I did. I did text to 3D. And then converted it to a metahuman, and then used like realistic, photorealistic scan face textures. Which graphic card are you using? This is the 5090. What's up? What's up, Thorfinn? But if you want to see this on a 5060 Ti, check out the live stream in the comments. I'll put the link whenever it goes up. Let's see, 5.5. This is 5.5, Ernest. I don't know if you missed that. 5.4 Zora is more new Resteer GI. I'm not sure. I think 5.5 and 5.4 Zora came out about the same time, because I downloaded them at the same time. Yeah, I think they came out at the same time. The only difference with the 5.4 Zora is obviously it has Mega Geo. That's it, as far as I know. And shoot, I don't know if that one's RTX Di though. I don't remember. I had it also. But yeah, if you if you want to check out Mega Geo, then you have to get Zora branch. Vulkan? Oh man, Linux? Bro, I would not know. I am a total newbie when it comes to that. I've never used a Linux in my life ever, so I'm not sure. But what I would really like to do is get this to render. Like that's kind of what I want to kind of render. And before I go, because obviously we don't have any more comments, let me show you now. This is another video that I want to make, basically comparing real-time path tracing to offline path tracing. Because like I mentioned in the beginning, a lot of people are confused because they think it's the same thing. To me, real-time path tracing is not the same as offline path tracing. Okay, offline path tracing is like ground truth for real, no cap. All right. So real-time path tracing kind of takes in some of the offline path tracing characteristics, but it's not really like one-to-one. So that said, if I crash here, that's the end of the live stream. All right. But this is also set up to have offline path tracer. So what you're looking at right now, this is the real-time path trace with DLSS4. I'm going to go to 67 because I'm probably dying on the stream. Am I dying in the stream? No, this is only 5.5, dude. This is only 5.5. It's so funny because 5.5 comes out, and VRTX 5.5 comes out, and then Epic's like 5.6. And Nvidia's like, oh man, they work so fucking hard. I met some of them at Unreal Fest, bro. I mean, you can call me biased, but every single person I've met that worked at Nvidia, they just love what they do, and they're so excited with the research, like the shit that they do. And I met a lot of Epic folks at Unreal Fest too, and it feels like it's the same way. They're just so excited. Like I met a lot of people that invented a lot of this stuff in Unreal, and it's like so cool to get to see their face. They're like really shy. But anyways, let's see. Are these options on the stage pack level actors? Yes, I'm pretty sure it is. Does it look better than watching Paris through an aerial X? Oof, man, nah, bro. Dude, if I make it one day, like if I somehow become rich one day, the first thing I'm going to buy is an Area Alexa Mini. Like I should not, for no reason, I'm just gonna buy it because that image, nah, nothing's gonna beat that, my friend. Oh, you want a VR video? Yeah, it's just not gonna have. I don't think it's not gonna. I'm going to try to do it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do everything that I showed here in VR. Okay, because that is like, this is kind of uncharted territory, but that's like uncharted territory. All right, and right now UEVR is only a 5.4. They're kind of lagging behind. PreyDog UEVR, the mod that I used to turn Unreal Engine 5 into VR, they're kind of they're still a little bit below. So yeah, so let's see. I've been building locations in the game for a few months and say in the levels impact. Yeah, I was told that doing pack level actors is the best way. Would you say that's what you're finding out as well? A maze of St. Michaels. Yeah. Show us offline in real time. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Jay Hanso. Can't wait to do this forward to come to 5.6. Yeah, man. We'll take a look. All right, so here we go. I'm going to press 4. If this crashes, guys, that's it for the video. I am going to make a real-time versus offline path tracer video later. If you guys are interested, put in the comments, because if not, I'm not going to waste my time. But this is kind of like a preview. So this is real-time path trace now, and I'll press 4. Now this is going to offline path tracer, right? The clouds are going to be black because in the post-process volume, I don't think it's referencing the cloud. You have to like tick that. I didn't compile this one. So, you know, this is what offline path tracing looks like, right? And as you saw there, the little red bar at the bottom, this is 3 bounces path traced at 500 some samples, but it's also using a denoiser. All right? So it's getting this image, 3 bounces, 500 samples with a denoiser. I don't do denoisers whenever I render. I turn that shit off. I crank the sample count up so I can get rid of the noise. So if you're looking at this, if I were to move this right now, somehow in path tracing, if I had like an RTX 1080, 90, 100, it's using the denoiser, so it's going to be like mushy. But I wanted to show you this because I want you to pay attention to 2 things. That's going to be the exposure of an offline path tracer and I'm going to show you, and I want you to take a look at two things: the exposure, the bounces of the offline path tracer, and also the reflections of the offline path tracer. We're not going to talk about translucency just yet. So once again, this same page here, don't look at the clouds. We have the window and we have our GI, right? I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to set this to 67%. This is real-time path tracing. Okay? Take a screenshot of this if you want to, so you can compare it side by side. Again, this is real-time path tracing, meaning we can play this in a game. And I'm going to press P, which is offline path tracing. It's going to be instant because we already gathered all the light, right? Press P. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, right? So let me move this. I'm going to move this. And you can see that it's going to resolve again. See all those noise? It's resolving. There's a bar at the bottom. And that is just gathering all the information it needs to render this image. So this is not real time. This is offline path tracing, right? 3 bounces, 512 samples. Boom. We get an image. Turn this off. Put it up to 67%. This is real time at 260 frames per second. Crazy. Crazy, I tell you. But, again, I will do that comparison side by side. And I'm not sure, can I... Ooh, I might be able to actually get those clouds. Hang on. Let me see if I can get those clouds. Oh, snap. CVAR. Okay, I got those clouds using the CVAR. So let's do that comparison one more time. I'm going to move this. Okay. So we're going to go with 67. Don't go to 100. Are you fucking crazy? 67%, guys. Real-time path tracing, DLSS4, 67%, and now we're going to go with path trace, offline. Bam! Resolving, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I don't know. It's still going. Now, we have that clouds now we're taking a look at. We're getting pretty fucking close, I can tell you that. But again, this one, I'm pretty sure this has the denoiser on by default, okay? So... it's only getting 500 samples and then denoising it. See, you can tell. You see the door kind of gets like mushy a little bit. But, yeah. Real-time path trace versus offline path trace. If you want to see more of this, just let me know, man. Because that right there, my friends, it's getting pretty nasty. I mean, what do you think? Looking through this video right now, to me, is getting pretty darn close. But yeah, that said, this live stream, I thought it was gonna be like 30 minutes. How long have we been on? I saw your tweet about Mega Grant. Yeah, dude, I did 3 and they all got denied. And this is back when Mega Grant was new. Okay, this is like when Unreal Engine 4.26 just came out. I submitted some Mega Grants. The Cyberpunk short that I made was originally a Mega Grant. And I got denied 2 or 3 times. I think 3 times, and I just gave up after that. I was like, bro, I'm just not good. I can't even imagine what Mega Grants look like now. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine. I know some people who got, some other YouTubers who got like Mega Grants, but I was one of the unlucky ones, unfortunately. Can you stand in front of the glass so it fits almost the entire frame? In front of the glass. Do you want me to like get closer? Like this? Like you want me to get closer to this like this? Like you want to see that door? Is that what you want right there? Yeah, offline is going to be more accurate, dude. Of course, yeah. It's going to be more accurate, but... you know? And again, people, this is why it's really important. A lot of gamers and content creators are not specifically saying real-time path tracing when they're posting shit. And it's confusing a lot of people. So whenever you're playing your real-time path trace games, you have to say it's real-time path trace and not path trace. Because offline path tracer is different than real-time path tracer, in my opinion. I mean, we saw that, right? But eventually, I think the goal is getting an offline path tracer to be real-time. And we can see that it's getting pretty darn close. Close to the window. Like this? Like in front of it? Like by the bike? Kind of want some of the bike a little bit. Are you trying to see my reflection? To see if this is real or fake? No, this is like this, dude? Like really close? I mean, I can almost go to that. That's crazy. Those GI, like, those shadows are reflecting too. It's so freaky. Look at this. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like with just hardware Lumen. Right? So whenever you're rendering stuff, that's what kind of like you're working with. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my dream. And I think it's like to me, I believe it's gonna be possible with the help of the denoiser, the ray reconstruction. I think that's how we're gonna do it. Because to me, offline path tracer gets data by waiting and accumulating all those rays, right? And then denoising. But I was thinking is like, all right, dude, what if we just have like, I don't know, 25 samples and then denoise it with ray reconstruction? You know, that's kind of like my thinking process. Is like, bro, instead of waiting for it to resolve, can't we just use ray reconstruction with offline path tracer so that it'll fill the rest of the frames up? I don't know. That's a good question. That's my question, bro. I mean, I'm trying to learn PCG, GPU, micro scattering, but it's so complex. Great. Not take that out yet. Micro scattering. That's cool. Oh, yeah. The hardware Lumen is getting good. Don't get me wrong, bro. Like, hardware Lumen is pretty darn impressive, to be honest with you. I mean, that's incompatible, so you're going to get a lot of dancing there. Hardware Lumen is amazing. But yeah, I want to do this in path trace right now before I go. I promise I'm going to go now. If you guys have any questions, now it's the time. I'm just going to do a quick video right here. So this, oh no, not 100, bro. Chill out. All right, so this is real-time path trace, and this is our offline path trace. Thinking. And you know, I'll be honest with you, one of the things I notice with the offline path tracing, the shadow's just a little bit crunchier, but you can probably go into post-process and just crunch those shadows in post-production, like Resolve or Premiere, and you can get pretty close. Like, we're looking at this straight in the editor, right? So if I go to like P, you're gonna notice that the real-time path tracing just has a little bit slightly less crushed shadows, but you can just turn the contrast up. I'll switch it again. Pay attention on the bikes here on the left. See that? Gets a little bit punchier, like pow, crunchy, turn the contrast up. It does lose sharpening if you notice. It gets softer a little bit because of that denoiser that I've been telling you. So yeah, that's offline path trace. That looks real. That's as real as I can get. Yeah, reflection is amazing, man. Let's see. Yeah, I imagine this in Cyberpunk 2077 Orion or Witcher 4. It's gonna be, hopefully I'm still around for that. It's gonna be nice. The first ray tracing I saw in the demo scene were 3 glass balls side by side. Of course, it was a slideshow. It was a slideshow. 3 glass balls side by side. Which one are you talking about, Amber? You having issues with MetaHuman hair and reflections? How's my MetaHuman course going? Not so good, bro. It's really not so good. There's just so many other people making content. I don't think it's as new as mine, but I don't know. It's probably my worst. Like, I thought it was gonna do good because the new MetaHuman 5.6, but I feel like my viewers are split now. Like, a lot of AI, or a lot of my subscribers are kind of like on the fence with AI. So yeah, it didn't. My course didn't do so good. It's probably gonna be my last course. It's just, yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm still gonna do some advertising for it, like making some content and videos and stuff, and I'm gonna advertise it a lot more in my clips and videos like this. But yeah, overall, not so good. Advertising. If you want to learn more about MetaHuman, short film, mocap, all that stuff, check it out. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, what's up? What's the reflection? Or am I way detail to offline? Yeah. Offline path tracing to me is so beautiful, man. Like, it's just so hard to beat, man. But it's definitely going in the right direction. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the real-time path tracing is really getting there. Really getting there. I wonder how far off Orion is. I would probably say, bro, probably like 5 years. They are just starting to hire people. I think they said they just entered production. So 3 to 5. I would say 3 to 5 years. They're not going to want another Cyberpunk 2077 release. I can guarantee you that right now. It's not going to happen. Yeah, no, it's all good, dude. It was one of the things, like, a lot of people were asking me to update my MetaHuman course, and it was the perfect time to do it. Because honestly, Unreal Engine 5.6 MetaHumans are new. The workflow in there. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize how new the workflow is until they actually get in there. Like, if you haven't been messing around with MetaHumans in 5.6, you're like, what the where's this? Where's that? And that's why that course is. Like, a lot of stuff kind of changed in the workflow of things. So this course is actually my workflow, my new one from here on now. And that's what I wanted to share. In 2 hours, you can have like a nobody install Unreal and follow that and automatically be caught up. And I just punched my table. And that was like the whole point of it, was to get people caught up. People are interested. But AI, dude, there's a lot of people out there right now that are like, Jay, why should I learn this? AI is taking over. I have videos for that. Trust me. We're gonna dig deeper into that whole thing. Thank you so much for making this video. Don't thank me, man. I'm just a graphics nerd. Richard Cowgill, he's the one who actually compiled this for us. We did do a live stream breaking down some of the CVARs that he kind of put into this. He is so talented. Whenever it comes out, I'm going to put the link. You have to sign up for it. But it's kind of like developers only kind of live streaming. But you can sign up for it for free so you can watch it and like see behind the scenes. And it's my college. I watch their live streams to learn a lot of stuff. And that's most people, like, this is how I kind of stay ahead of the game, is by staying, being aware of that. We did a live stream on this exact same demo, but a little bit lower res. So that's why I wanted to do this in 4K 60p. What is your screen resolution? This one is, right now, this is 4K. 3840 by 2160p. Wonder how far off. Didn't know it was out. Yeah, I did. I have a couple of advertisements up. My main page on YouTube actually has the video, but it's pretty much like how to make a music video with MetaHumans in 5.6. It's sick. It's so insanely fast. It's a crash course. Like, you can take an absolute no one, have them sit, and in 2 hours they'll be like, yeah, bro, this is how you capture facial motion capture. And you don't need a suit either, because I provide you with all the motion capture. Yeah, grooms look very different. Dittery with higher training. Wow, really? That's weird, dude. Cause have you ever seen mine? Now you're making me paranoid. Like, have you ever seen my metahumans hair looking all like dithery? Because I use hardware ray tracing on all the metahumans stuff, the rapping, the talking, all of them. You should do interviews. Who am I gonna interview, bro? Can you insert a metahuman in the scene so we can see how it works? This is a package. This is a package demo, so I can't just like click and drag one. But I'll take a look. Let me see if I can do it. Wait, this is 5.5, so I'm not gonna be able to insert the new one. I think I'm gonna wait for the 5.6 NVRTX to do that then. Because the 5.6 there's no point of going to 5.5 metahumans if the 5.6 are out. I think we'll save that whenever the NVRTX 5.6 comes out, whenever that comes out. Oh man, my eyes are twitching. I don't know why my eye twitches like that. It's so weird. Let's see. AI is gonna replace the codes on Cyberpunk before they start working on Cyberpunk. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I think Cyberpunk's gonna come out before GTA 6 though. We'll see. What's your opinion on Mutable and how long until... Yeah, so they actually had a demo of Mutable in Unreal Fest. It's pretty darn interesting, if you ask me. It looks pretty darn good. It looks cool. But I don't know. It wasn't... Like, if it wasn't for the Unreal Fest and me walking around in Unreal Fest, I wouldn't have known about it. And I'm on the internet every day. I don't think it's really advertised by Epic that much. Which, yeah, I'm kind of confused about. But there again, they're about to go on a summer break. Hello. What's up, Ahmed? What do you think of my new job? What do you think of my new job? What's your new job, dude? Yeah, no problem, Ernest. Mixing real-time PD settings, mixing real-time path tracing, maybe a little FPS low, but more accurate. Yeah, so if I go to 100%, the quality does get better, but my computer is the OBS can't keep up with it. I just can't keep up with it. But yeah, there's a couple of settings I'm sure that you can do. Like if I were to turn up my screen percentage even higher than 100, I bet that would look more crispier. But I would also probably have a crispy computer, you know. So it's like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Because right now we're kind of like, bro, we're getting like, I'm gonna flip it to 100% real quick. We're getting like 170 frames per second right now. Like, come on, bro, we can squeeze a little bit more quality in there. But yeah, sure we can. But I just really want this. I just want this to be able to render. I want it to render. Like, I want to go to MRQ and render a scene with real-time path tracing, ray reconstruction, DLSS4. I just want to do it. I'm hoping that'll happen one day. The hardest part I find with Medium is creating digital copies. So unless you have photo scan, base mesh, project things. Yeah, obviously, dude. I mean, you gotta have a base mesh somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's very important to have like a good base mesh. But lucky for you, you know, my metahumans, the ones that you see all the time, that was made with one DSLR and a spinning chair. Right? So it took fucking forever because I kept kicking the tripod. But I basically stood and just spun myself with my feet. I didn't even have somebody spinning me because I'm a loser. So it's like I just sat in a dark room by myself and spun myself like this. And then I would kick the fucking tripod, so I have to redo it again. But yeah, you can do it. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there that will show you. Check out Drexler's. Drexler's did a pretty good video on how to do that. And I told him on Unreal Fest too. I was like, Drex, you gotta, you know, keep making those videos you were making. He's a teacher. I met him. I think he subscribed to the channel. But yeah. All right. Let's see. I can meta human cyberpunk furry kimono. In her hair in real time path tracing. Bro, man, I haven't really checked it yet. I haven't checked it because 5.5, this demo just came out and we just got back at Unreal fast. But let me double check. Let me double check. I forgot to ask because Zora demo 5.4, I think Groom was working there because they had a person with hair in that project. So I would have to double check. Yeah. Yeah, right now this is just a package file, so I can't like click and drag a meta even there. Or changing the restore post-process setting and force it to real-time PT. Oh, you talking about an editor? Yeah, this is all maxed out though. Like, you talking about like reflections and stuff like that? This is all maxed out. If that's what you're talking about. Like, I can ask, but I think this is probably like a 100% percentage. Oh, no, heck no. Hang on. I forgot. We were just... Sorry, my nose is running here. We were just in high. Let me try ultra. What the heck is this? Why are you going? Oh, my computer's like, nah, bro. You're not about to do that shit in 4K. Nah, dude. This is the end of the live stream. So if I get disconnected, this is the end, okay? So yeah, we'll set it to ultra. Yeah, this is ultra settings now, and I'll set this to 100. Ta-da! I don't know how much crispier you're gonna get that, but let me look at my GPU. Oh, hello. No, let's not do that. But yeah, this is now ultra settings at 4K. All right. Let's see. It's not within the scope of this live, but those you're using in real. But what types? I don't usually do a lot of like freelancing anymore. I stopped doing that because a lot of people just expect too much for like. I was charging people for like consulting, and people wanted me to like do hands-on stuff. I'm like, bro. Like, I literally specifically said in the description, this is just like a video chat consulting, like, you know. So I didn't want to feel like a douchebag like all the time whenever I kind of like, bro, like, what? It's just a video chat. I can't remote in right now. So I kind of stopped that. But like, if you're like absolutely serious about it, and you like have the budget for it, I can do like lighting and rendering for you. You know what I mean? Like that's like what I like to do. But it's just like some of the people like, oh no, yeah, man, it's a collaboration. We can collaborate. I'm like, but collaborate doesn't feed my kids. You know, you gotta feed them. They eat a lot. They're growing. But yeah, I hope you all are having a nice Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We have a couple more videos coming out. Again, if you want me to do the offline path tracing, real-time path tracing comparison, let me know. Kind of like what we did here, but in a lot more scenes. But I think this video is like super long already. Yeah. The editor. Yeah, well, the editor is maxed out too, man. That's the thing. Like, I can ask him. I'm like, hey, man, I got this guy on my live chat. He's like, bro, like, we need more quality. But I think this is, if I remember correctly, for GI, Final Gather was set to like 4 or 5. The quality was set to 5, and then the reflections set to 4. So it's like the highest you can go. So quality-wise, I think this is it. Are you trying to like compare it to like path trace like this? I mean, it's pretty close. If I were to add noise in this restore PT and crash the shadows, yeah, you would probably like, bro, that's pretty darn close. Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for checking it out. Again, if you want to learn more about metahumans and how I do mocap. I just released a live stream. Released a course on it for like $39, bro. I pretty much tell you my entire workflow. And it's not just a music video. You can make cinematics with it. Include the motion capture files, so you don't need any mocap suits. You can just, you know, copy what I'm doing, pretty much. Give you some stuff. I know CVARs is one of the things. If you already bought my course before, I think I only have a couple of new CVARs in there that I use. But it's like, if you've bought my course, well, that's the thing. Unreal Engine 5.6 MetaHuman's like completely new. So it's like the perfect refresher for it. But yeah, let's see. Does the FPS hold with Niagara? I haven't tried it with Niagara yet, bro. But those are really good suggestions, guys. Like, I don't really use Niagara that much. So yeah, I don't even think about those stuff. So that's a good point. Let me take a look at those and see. If I download 5.5 NVRTX branch, I use an editor on PT. Yeah. Yeah, it's in a post process and a CVAR. Are you gonna do it in a CVAR or put in a post process? And again, the CVARs are in that live stream that I did with Rich. So go watch it. Sign up. Create an email. Say I love Jay's Films or Gmail or something, and watch it, because he pulled up the cheat sheet he has for all the CVARs, and I actually took a picture of it. Like, bro, yes, give me that. There's a lot of CVARs in there, and what's cool is some of that stuff you're not gonna find anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're watching this video. Discord server, I can't keep up with it, man. I tried like 8 times. I actually got hacked in one of it, and I had to like delete everything, like my LinkedIn and everything. Somebody sent me a link for like some Steam gift cards, and I clicked on it on my Discord. So I was like, fuck, I should have known better. But yeah, I couldn't keep up with it. I do post in the community here every now and then on the YouTube channel, and that's how I talk with people. Like whenever I have like just a random thought, I post it on there, and we just gotta chit chat there. Yeah, never fall for those Steam gift cards, guys. It's bad. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Thanks for all the suggestions. Thanks for hanging out. And like always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I'm sweating, dude. Am I a MetaHuman right now?